Hi there, many of the friends on this channel asked to cover this topic like how to handle SQL code -305 and what is null indicator and how police works. So in this video I am going to cover these all topic in a very detail. This is me your friend Deepak and I welcome you to yet another video of IT Job Matters. So let's start. Friends, when we talk about COBOL and DB2 system, COBOL has its own standard of defining variable. These are the data types which is used in COBOL to define a variable. Whereas in DB2, these are the list of data type which is used to declare a column or define a column. In COBOL DB2 program, when we communicate to DB2 system, the data which is returned by DB2 are of these types, and these types of data are not directly understandable by the COBOL program. So for that we need to define corresponding compatible variable in COBOL program. So for defining those corresponding compatible variables in COBOL program, this can be done manually as well. But consider the table size is very huge. So error may occur and it will be very time taking process. So you don't need to define those variables manually. DB2 does have the facility called DCLGen, which is also known as declaration generator. What does it do? You only need to provide the table name, and once you provide the table name, it will declare corresponding compatible variable to each column in our COBOL program. So these are the list of DB2 column type and corresponding compatible COBOL data type. So DCLGen or declaration generator follow this rule. Let's say I have a data type called small int in DB2. It is going to take 2 bytes. But for same we need to define a variable of s9 of 4 comp and it is going to take 2 byte. For timestamp representation in DB2 it takes 10 byte, but in COBOL program it takes 26 byte. So let's try to understand by this example. Let's say for representing this date in DB2 we need to define a data type of date and it is going to take 4 byte. Whereas for retrieving the same date in COBOL program, we need to define a variable of x10 and it is going to take 10 byte. Friends, there is a huge difference when your manager say at beginning of the quarter that you will get promoted by end of the quarter. It means your promotion status is unknown. It means it's null. But when quarter end comes, he say that you will not get promoted because you did not stay in office late. In this case, your promotion status is 0 or blank. A null represents missing or unknown information at column level in DB2. A null is not as same as 0 or blank, as I gave one example. Null means no entry has been made for a column and it implies that value is either unknown or not applicable. Friends, let's say we have one table called employee, and there we have multiple columns in which we have one column called employee spouse name. So for defining that employee spouse name column, we can define it using either one of these three. Assuming we have defined that employee spouse name using this syntax, now let's say we are trying to insert into employee table, and assuming we are skipping this column value while insert. So what will happen after insert will be done, this column value will be null because by default it is with default null. And if you have defined the employee spouse name column using this syntax and you try skipping this column value while insert into employee table, then it will not allow you to insert as this column is defined with not null. It means this column cannot have null as a value. And let's say you have defined that employee spouse name using this syntax like not null with default. It means what happens when you try to insert value in this employee table and you try skipping value of spouse name, then whatever is default value for this, it will get inserted there. Like if data type is character, here the default value will be spaces. If data type is varchar, then empty string of length 0, and if it is a date, time and timestamp, then current date, time and timestamp will be there as a default value, and if it is an integer, small and decimal, then default value will be 0. Let's assume that this is the employee table where for this employee eSpouse name is null, and now we are using embedded SQL. There we are trying to retrieve the employee spouse name for this employee ID. So in this case, the receiving field is of type X of 20, but as a result we will be getting null which is undefined. So we cannot receive undefined value in a defined data type variable. So in this case we usually get SQL code -305, and this means null value cannot be assigned to output host variable because no null indicator variable is defined or specified. To avoid this exception in COBOL program, we use null indicator. Null means unknown value in RDBMS. So equating a null value to some other variable or receiving it in a defined data type is invalid operation, or it may cause an exception in your program. We can handle null using two ways, either using null indicator variable or either using Colli's function in a SQL. Now let's try to understand how we will handle it using null indicator variable in COBOL program. Null indicator variable is used in an application program as part of exception handling while dealing with the column which is defined as null or which may contain value as null. Friends, if you are using DCLGen or declaration generator, then DB2 creates compatible null indicator variable in DCLGen by itself on a attribute or on a column where you are not specifying not null, or you have not specified not null, or you have not specified not null with default, or you have not specified that particular column or attribute as a primary key. And if you are not using DCLGen, then you need to specifically specify this variable in your working storage section. Null indicator is a 2-byte field which we declare by using S904 comp, and this variable, null indicator variable, can have 3 values. It can have 0, -1 and -2. If it contains 0, it means that has some value in it, there is no null. If its value is -1, it means there is null value, and if it is -2, it means the column contains null as part of some data conversion or some calculations. We will try to understand these -1 and -2 one by one. Let's try to understand null indicator by this example. Let's say we have this table where we have 2 records, and this is normal variable for holding a spouse name, and this is null indicator variable, and now we are running this query. And once this query gets executed, we will be checking SQL code, and then we will be checking null indicator value whether it is having -1 or -2 or not. Now let's assume that we are inquiring about this employee ID, not about this. So if we will be inquiring about this employee ID, so we will be getting spouse name as Rahul here. So in this case, SQL code will be 0. Now it will check what is the value of null indicator. So in this case, null indicator value will be 0, as we have got value in normal variable. So in this case, this line of code will get executed and it will say spouse name found. But suppose if you are inquiring about this employee, so for this employee spouse name is null. So in this case, this query will get executed. As we have used null indicator, so SQL code 305 will not come, SQL code 0 will come. Now you will check what is the null indicator value. So null indicator value in this case, as it is null, so its value will be -1. So as -1 is less than 0, so this line of code will get executed, and we will be moving spaces to employee spouse name, and we will be displaying spouse name not found. Sometime in null indicator variable we get value as -2 in spite of -1, and this is why we get -2. So suppose I'm trying to get a average salary of a particular employee since he joined till today or till this year. So let's see, suppose the joining year is 2017 and current year is also going on 2017 and sum of salary is, let's assume, 1 lakh. So now here sum of salary is 1 lakh and now joining year minus current year will be 0. So dividing a value by 0, it will return undefined value. So now due to some computation the value is coming as null. So in this case the actual variable will not have anything and the null indicator will be having -2. But this complete SQL will get executed successfully and SQL code 0 will come. But if we check the value of this null indicator, here we will be getting -2. We can handle null using college function as well, and if we are using college function then null indicator variable definition is not required. So this is syntax for college function. College column name, column default value, and this is how it works. If column value is not null, then column value will be returned, and if it is having null, then column default value, whatever we specified in college parameter, it will get returned. So let's see this example. Here I am using college spouse name and comma spaces. So in this example spouse name value will come as null. So if spouse name is not null, then spouse name exact value would have come here, but as here we have null, so default value is spaces, so space will get returned into WSEMP spouse name. Null indicator is also helpful when you are inserting or updating row and you want to set a particular column value as a null. So here I have given one example of update. So let's say you are updating employee spouse name here, and let's say you have given some name in employee spouse name, WS employee spouse name, and if you are setting -1 to null indicator just before update, then regardless of whatever value you give to the actual variable, this SQL is always going to update null as a spouse name for this particular employee ID. Same happens in case of insert as well. Let's suppose you are trying to insert a row in employee table and these are the field. So suppose you want to insert null as a employee spouse name, so you will be giving null indicator variable name as well along with the normal variable, and if you are moving -1 to employee spouse name null indicator field just before running an insert query, then regardless of what value you give in here, it is always going to insert null at the time of this insert query run. So this is it for this video. If you have any question or any doubt regarding this video, do post it in the YouTube comment section below and I will try to include it in my next video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, do hit on subscribe button or bell icon for more such videos. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.